All right, welcome guys, welcome everybody. Um, so thank you all for joining in once again. This is like I said, I promised to do a video on relative strength index analysis and basic asset correlation. All right. To know more about this, I would like to invite you to be a part of our mentorship. All right. Our mentorship currently is running for $49. All right, that's a 50,000 naira if you are in Nigeria. But if you're outside of Nigeria, it's currently pegged at $49. All right, and then if you would be interested in having a one-on-one mentorship with me, you have a complete direct access to me. All right, we also have a platform for that, and our one-on-one mentorship is $180. All right. So I'm going to drop the link to make inquiries, to also join our group of traders so you can learn from every other person. All right. So let me get into what I wanted to share. All right. So I wanted to talk about relative strength index analysis. All right. So I'm going to be starting with the US dollar index. All right. The US dollar index is what really shows you the strength or the weakness of the US dollar. All right. So we can use this, analyze this, okay, and then know how it affects the dollar pairs. All right. So say maybe the Euro USD, the GBP USD, the Aussie and the Kiwi, right? AUD NZD and AUD USD and NZD USD, right? Okay, so yeah, the DXY, like I said, which is the US dollar index, is what really shows us how strong or how bearish or bullish the dollar in itself as a currency is going to be. All right, so this is what would lead me into asset correlation. Okay, what you must understand is that when it comes to the DXY has some relationships with the Euro USD, the GBP USD, all right, and then the likes. Okay, so I'm just going to be as simple as I can, and I'm just going to use Euro USD and GBP USD as an example. All right, so um when it comes to the DXY and the Euro USD, we must understand that there is a particular way that the DXY moves, and then the Euro USD and the GU also moves. Okay, so I can look at, I can analyze my DXY, and on the strength of what I analyze on the DXY, I can actually know what to expect on EU and GU. All right, that's the simplest form of explanation for it. Okay, I can look at my DXY, and then based on what I analyze, whether I'm looking to be bullish on the DXY or I'm looking to be bearish on the DXY, that can give me an ample information on what to look out for on Euro USD or the GBP USD or the AUD USD or the NZD USD. All right, so the DXY, based on the DXY, I can use the DXY to plan my trades for all of these four pairs, right? So let's dive a bit deeper into it. All right, so now what you must also understand, which is the second thing I'm going to talk about, is the fact that like I said, there there is a relationship between the US dollar index, which is the DXY, and the Euro USD. Okay, and I'm going to tell us the relationship now. All right, so um remember I said that I can analyze my DXY, either I'm looking to be bullish or I'm looking to be bearish, and then based on that I go to my Euro USD and then my GBP USD, and based on what I've analyzed on the US dollar index, which is the DXY, I can then now plan my trades towards that. Okay, now knowing that gives you a gives you it takes you a step ahead. Now, the second thing that takes you a step ahead is, okay, now that I know that, okay, my DXY can have an effect, all right, can have an effect on the movement of the EU, GU, and the likes. How do they now relate? All right, what's the relationship between the DXY and EU, GU, and the likes of that? Okay, so this is where it now gets very interesting. You must understand that the DXY has a negative correlation with EU, or let me put it as this: it has a negative correlation with XXX USD. All right, meaning that any pair that the USD is paired with, the DXY has a negative correlation with them. And what does that actually mean? What it actually means is that if the DXY is bullish, then the Euro USD will be doing opposite of what DXY is doing. All right. If the DXY is bullish, then Euro USD would be bearish. That's what we mean by having a negative correlation. But if I say that they have a positive correlation, it means that if the DXY is bullish, that particular pair would also be bullish. All right, that particular pair would also be bullish. Okay, so the DXY has a negative correlation with XXS USD, the Euro USD, the GBP USD, the AUD USD, the NZD USD. All right, so if the DXY is bullish, then EU is going to be bearish. All right, so the next thing I'm going to have here is the DXY has a positive correlation, all right, with USD XXX. I'm sure you understand what that means right now. Okay. So we really want to get into how it works, okay? But you just need to have this information. Okay. So if the DXY is bullish, all right, for the USD XXX pairs, they also would be bullish. All right, if the DXY is bearish for the XXX USD pairs, the DXY is going to be negatively correlated. All right, so if the DXY is bullish, EU is going to be bearish. Okay, so that is the correlation you want to know about. So what this now then means on the chart is, if I am expecting to have a bullish DXY, okay, I'm expecting to have a bullish DXY, right? So maybe I did all of my analysis and I'm expecting the DXY to buy, right? What that tells me, or what information it gives to me, is that on EU, I should be looking for the opposite of the DXY, meaning on EU, I should be looking for sales. All right, on EU, I should be looking for sales on EU if I'm looking for buys on the DXY. All right, if I'm looking for buys on the DXY, I should be looking for sales on GU, on AU, on NU. All right, the XXX USD pairs. Okay, so let me just quickly show us something. Going to the price action on the 1 hour for DXY. Okay, going to the price action on DXY. Now, based on the 1 hour time frame, right, for the DXY, of course, this looks like we are in a bullish price action. Okay, now let's now go to EU, all right, and see the kind of price action that we are going to have on EU. Remember, we said that DXY and EU has a negative correlation. All right, so let's go and look for EU and see what price action we are going to have on the 1 hour. I mean, without any explanation, you can see that we have almost the same price action, but this time around, we have it in the opposite direction. All right, in the opposite direction. So this already naturally confirms for us that there's a negative, there's a negative correlation between the DXY and EU, GU, and all of that. Okay, so if I'm looking to buy DXY, I should be looking for sales on my Euro USD. That is what informs my trade. All right, so before I analyze EU or GU before the beginning of the week, the first thing I want to do is to analyze my DXY. What is my DXY telling me? All right, because the DXY has an ample effect on EU, GU, has an ample effect on these pairs. All right, so once you have been able to do your analysis, then on the DXY, then you can now go to your EU and look for the opposing move. All right, so if you are looking to sell the DXY, you should know that EU will be buying. All right, if the DXY is selling, EU will be buying. If the DXY is buying, EU will be selling. Do you understand that now? I mean, this is basic, as simple as it can be. This is relative strength index analysis. All right. So when you now have a case, please take note of this. When you now have a case where um the DXY or the EU or the GU are not moving together, that's when we have a case of a divergence. Okay. So I'm going to push into asset correlation from here. All right. So I'm going to mention a few assets that are correlated with each other. Okay. So we have the euro correlating with the GBP. We also have the AUD correlating with the NZD. We have BTC correlating with ETH, which is the Ethereum. Which other? There are a lot. All right. We have the NAS 100 and the US 30. We have the NAS and the US 30. All right. I mean, we have a lot of correlated assets. All right. We have cross correlated pairs. We have, normal correlations. All right. Now, your EU and your euro rather, and your GBP are positively correlated. All right. Meaning that if euro is buying, we also want to see GBP buying. All right. If AUD is buying, we also want to see the NZD buying. If the BTC is buying, we also want to see Ethereum buying. All right. So they have positive correlations, which means they move together. So it means that I can analyze my Euro USD, and then I should be expecting that my GBP USD also should be going in that same direction. When they don't now go in the same direction, that's when we have a case of a divergence. All right. When two positively correlated pairs don't move together and they are moving in opposite direction, that's when we have a divergence. All right. Meaning that one particular currency is actually weaker than the other, or one currency is stronger than the other. Okay. I'm not going into divergence. Divergence is going to be like um another class, all right, for another time. All right. So I'm going to teach us how to trade divergence when we see them. All right. This is basically what you need to know. So there are times that you would find out that the euro is buying, or the euro is making new highs, and then GBP is not making new higher highs, is making new lower highs. All right. In that kind of scenario, we can say that we have a case of a divergence. All right. So let me just go into this and just show us this. So my assignment for everyone is you are going to go back to your chart, all right, and find all of these things on your chart, all right, because it's one thing to come and watch the videos. It's another thing to go to your chart and try to implement what you have learned from the videos on your chart. And this is the reason why a lot of informations cannot be translated to the chart, because people, after watching videos, don't go back to their charts to go and confirm and see for themselves, all right, what has been taught in the video. Okay, so you want to do all of these assignments, right? I said the euro and the GBP are positively correlated. So you want to go back to your chart, all right, and confirm that and see how they move together, see how they move in the same direction. All right. Now this is EU. All right. We saw that EU is currently bearish. Okay. So let's see if the GU would also be bearish. Okay. So going back to GBP USD, GBP USD, the same time frame, the 1 hour. All right. Now you can see that GU is also bearish. It may not be as picture perfect as EU is, but the idea has already been established. And the idea is the fact that EU and GU are moving also in the same direction. All right. So it means that this is the arc into it. All right. It means that once I analyze my DXY and then I'm looking to be bullish on my DXY, many times I can come to my EU and analyze my EU for sales. And then I should be expecting that what I analyzed on my EU should be almost the same on GU. All right. When I come to my GU and I don't find the same thing happening on GU, then it tells me that EU and GU are diverging. All right. EU and GU are diverging. And how do we really spot divergence? Okay, let me just quickly go into that. That's going to be like a bonus. So you see where we have the GBP USD, there is a plus sign in front of it, which is the compare or add symbol. So I click on my compare or add symbol. All right, and then just wait for the next, depending on how fast your internet connection is. All right, so I'm on GU. I want to compare GU with EU. All right, so I am going to look for Euro USD. That's what I want to compare. All right, so this is Euro USD. So now you can see same scale, new price scale, and new pan. All right, I'm going to click on new price scale. All right, new price scale is what you select. So now that we have selected that, automatically you will see EU being overlaid on the GU. All right, the EU is the line chart, while the GU is the candlesticks. All right, so this is how you know um whether we have a case of a divergence or not. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to keep checking. All right, where was EU making new highs? I can see a case of a divergence right now. All right, now GU from here made a new low, right? GU made a new low, but you can see that EU, instead of making a new low right from this region, it made what? An higher low. All right, GU made a lower low, but EU made an higher low. So currently, we can say that we have a case of a divergence on EU and GU. All right. And what this means is that because, right, I would be GU more is the weaker pair, while it's already the stronger pair. And what this tells us is that smart money is edging, meaning they are buying both GU and EU at the same time. Do you understand? They are edging. I mean, they are trading EU and GU at the same time. So GU is the weaker pair. We'll see more sales on GU than EU. It doesn't mean that EU would not sell, right? EU would still most likely sell, all right, to align with the GBP USD, but it's just going to take a while. But for a short period of time, we might see GU buy for a little time. Sorry, we might see EU buy for a little time before it continues to sell, all right, and GU will just continue to sell. All right, I try to compress a lot of informations, all right, in these videos, so you would do yourself a very great gift by watching over and over and over and over and over again and over again. And then of course, if you have questions, you can join our free Telegram community where we have lots of traders where they also learn. All right. And then you can ask questions based on the videos you've watched where you are not clear. And then, of course, if you want to come into our mentorship, the link to joining our mentorship and making enquiries is also going to be dropped in the comment section. All right. And also alongside this video. All right. So I believe this video was able to help you. We have other indices that shows the strengths and the weaknesses of other currencies. So we have the Canadian futures, we have the JPY basket and the JPY futures for the Japanese yen. All right. So your assignment is you want to go to, if you trade the JPY pairs, you want to check what is the correlation between the yen basket, all right, and GJ and EJ, AJ and the likes. And then you also want to check the correlation between the JPY futures, all right, and GG and all of that, all right. It gives you, it puts you a step ahead, all right. It means you can actually like forecast based on the strength of those currencies where um price is most likely going to go to in the nearest future, all right. um, yes, I mean, this is a very short video, but I believe it contains a lot of information within just a very short while. All right. So thank you for joining. You can stay tuned. Make sure your notification button is on. Subscribe because there are going to be more videos that will be dropping. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Share. Thank you. God bless.